Hello, everyone. I was looking
Hello.
at old lives that I had posted on this channel, and then afterwards, I was like, damn, I look so tired in all these videos. Every single live we did, I just like, I don't wear makeup anymore when I'm just like comfortable with just not caring about things. So then I just look so tired all the time. So yeah, that was just an interesting tidbit that I found about myself.
Well, you don't look tired today. You look
I
very.
feel like I look really tired. Like I
Mm-mm.
mean, I feel tired. So
Yeah,
I feel like I do come off as very tired. But
I
yeah.
think because you're wearing like a bright shirt or dress, like it wakes you up.
Yeah. I was selling books because I sell books on Facebook Marketplace because I need to get rid of some books. And then I threw
Mm.
something on to meet someone like down the street where I live, to go sell some books. And yeah.
And I need to get into that. I do need to like go through my shelves and purge
Yeah.
and sell stuff. Yeah, I would think something like Facebook Marketplace is probably the easiest, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, especially because you could just sell to local people. Like you
Yeah.
wouldn't have to worry necessarily about like shipping books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So like Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers, she like sells books on Facebook Marketplace. She has communities that she follows, like community pages, and then she posts it. And then she like one time told me she sold like 100 books for like a lot number, and she felt so relieved
yeah,
after she sold all those books. And I was like, so I started doing it, and I feel really relieved too as well from selling books. There were some times where I was meeting up with some people like selling books, and then they recognized me and they were like, "You're Lisa from Remarkably Lisa, right?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, like you know that I sell books?" And then she's like, "Yeah, you look familiar." And then yeah, so it was like cool that even in my local area, people were watching my channel.
that's
So that was
crazy. That's fun.
yeah, like it's a very small world because I am
It
by far
is.
not a big, active YouTuber, and
Mhm.
I am just not really that active anymore, but people still remember me and they're like, "Oh yeah, like you're not really posting that much anymore," and things like that. And
Mhm.
then I even took this is just like more than one person, like maybe two people that I've sold books to that remember who I am, and then they like go like, "Oh, how's Lacey? How's Jessica?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I think they're good." And then like I'm good, and it's like so yeah, it's cool.
That is really cool. Yeah, I definitely need to get on that too, for
It's
sure.
good. It's easy money and it's you free up your clutter. I don't sell my books for really expensive at all. I sell them for like $2. Like other people sell
Yeah,
them for like
I
5
wouldn't.
or 10.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
just
gonna
sell it for cheap.
bother. Like, yeah, unless
Yeah.
it's like a rare, like I don't know, special edition or
Yeah.
something. I do have a couple of those in my collection.
Those
Um,
ones you should try to sell them for like a little bit more just because you paid so
yeah,
much for it to begin with. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
mhm, right.
But yeah, that was cool. So I'm slowly purging the books or the books I've read and then I don't need it anymore. So that's good.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, we're here for our monthly live show.
Yes.
And
Welcome to the show. Shout
yeah.
out to that one person who's watching right now. We see you.
Yay.
You are a real one.
Yeah.
I hope your pillow is cold at night. And oh, they left.
Aw.
They didn't care
They
for
were
it.
put on the spot. They're like, no,
They're
like,
like, not me.
no. Um, well, maybe some people will pop in every now and then, but I'm sure that people will watch the replay
Yes.
afterwards. But so yeah, we read for June. You Should Be So Lucky by Cat Sebastian.
Yeah.
And neither of us have a physical copy, but it is a really adorable cover. I'll pull it up. Um, do,
It's about two male, um,
Here's
I
the
can't even say two male baseball
cover.
players. One of them is a baseball player, the other one is a reporter, and he is assigned to write stories about the baseball team. And our baseball player is, I think, new to the city, and he's trying to like build a community, try to make friends, and he thinks the reporter is cute. Um, one of them is closeted and not really like too he doesn't want his image to kind of get out there because this was set in like the 1950s, I think, or like
Yeah,
somewhere around that time,
1960.
1960.
Yeah.
And then the other one is more openly like gay. So it was like a very interesting dynamic to kind of see how they work through that experience in that relationship. So I thought that was like really cool that they dove deeper into it, especially during that time period where it was, very less, it was more taboo than like more accepting in
Sure.
society.
Yeah. So what did you think of it? What star rating did you give it?
I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was like super cute. Like you would think that it would just be like a basic baseball romance novel, but
Sure.
then we dove deeper into the story of like how he had, correct me if I'm wrong, but like he had a past love and the past love actually passed away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
was actually dealing with grief.
Yeah.
So that was hard. And that was really interesting on like how they like kind of wove that into the storyline and kind of wove that into the relationship. And yeah. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was super cute. It was just only like towards the end where like they were talking a lot about baseball and things like that, where I was just getting bored. Baseball romance, but like, yeah. How
Yeah.
about you?
I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. I'm trying
Yay!
to think if I think I've given 1 or 2 other books by Cat Sebastian 5 stars, but
Yeah.
most of the books I've read by her have been more like 4-star reads.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up really loving this. It's definitely, so this is a series. There is another book that she wrote like a year or two ago. It has a similar title. Let me pull it up. I think it's like We Could Be So Good. It's a very different cover style. That's what this one looks like. So this is the romance between, you might remember the character of Nick that like Mark got together with a couple times and like talked about his relationship with Eddie. So it's Nick and Andy's romance. This one was more like they both work at the newspaper that Mark works at. And but anyway, like the vibe of both of these books, like the vibe of this series to me, like reads as like cozier, like um obviously like not the most exciting plots or anything. It's more like character driven, I would say. Um More like vibe driven too. Like it's just a very distinct vibe because it takes place in 1960. We don't see many historical romances set in that time and place. Um, and I liked the previous book in the series, The We Could Be So Good.
Mm-hmm.
But I did find myself getting kind of bored with that one towards the end
Oh, why were you bored?
because this series, like these books are more like character driven. They're not like, not that I need a super exciting plot,
Yeah.
but they're just not like fast paced necessarily or anything like that. So that one I do remember like getting a bit bored by towards the end, but this one I found was more engaging the whole time. I think that Cat Sebastian did a really good job of, like you said, like really setting the scene for sure. Like I really felt like I was like in that time and place.
Yeah.
1960 New York. But I think she also did a pretty good job of writing all the baseball stuff because I'm someone too that like I'm not a sports person. I'm not like into like baseball. I kind of grew up around it just because like my dad and brother were involved in baseball and stuff, but like it's certainly not like an interest of mine. But I actually liked how Cat Sebastian wrote like the side characters, like the guy like Tony Artolino, who's like managing the team, and like how she incorporated the other guys on the team into the story. I thought that that was really well done, and it like added a lot to the story and to the setting. And And I actually wasn't bored by it. I don't know. I actually kind of enjoyed all of that. Not that I understood what they were talking about when they were going into like stats and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but all the other stuff, like, I don't know, the team kind of like bonding with each other and like, you know, things like that, I really enjoyed. And this one, and maybe it was just because like when I was reading it, I was just feeling really emotional that week or whatever. But for whatever reason, this book like really got me in my feels. Like, really, really touched me because of the situation they're in. It's always tough to like write and or read historical romances, queer historical romances, because you know that like, yes, the couple is going to get their happily ever after, but like, is it truly a happily ever after when we know the world that these characters are living in? And like you said, like, this is 1960, like, absolutely queer people were not accepted in specifically, this is like US society, we're talking about New York, but like so like there is that level of like heartbreak when I read queer historical romances. That like, they obviously, these characters can never truly be open with the world about their relationship. They can never like, you know, it's not like they could just go get married and, you know, have a big wedding like queer people today can do, thank goodness. And so like, yeah, that like really got me in this book, the way that she wrote like how secretive queer people had to be. And I really felt for Mark's character. Mark is the one, he works for the newspaper, and he had a lover who passed away like a year or two before the book starts. And he was living with his lover, but of course, like as a roommate, like they were friends and they were roommates. And we've learned throughout the book that his lover, William, was a lawyer. He had political ambition. And so, like, obviously someone in that kind of career, like, could never, ever, ever even be suspected of being queer. Like, absolutely not, you know? And so Mark had to be a secret. And that was just like so devastating to read about. Like that whole past relationship, like you could tell that William loved Mark, but he did have to be kept a secret. And then when William passed away, he ended up leaving everything to Mark because that was truly the only way that he could show Mark his love for him. Like that's just so devastating to read about. And then like, you know, throughout the whole book, a big thing between Eddie and Mark obviously is like, well, how can we be in a relationship? Like Eddie's a famous baseball player. So he's in the public eye. There's no way that he could ever be suspected of being remotely queer and still have a career, right? He would lose everything if any of that came out. And so a lot of the book is the two of them grappling with that, with, you know, Mark doesn't want to be a secret again. He doesn't want to be someone else's secret again. But at the same time, like, because of this past relationship, he's got a lot of baggage and he's got a lot of like emotional trauma. And so it's hard for him to open up to Eddie and to let Eddie into his life. And, you know, it's a lot. There's definitely a lot going on in this relationship, in this romance, but I personally loved it. I thought that the way it was paced was well done. I liked that it was obviously more slow burn. That makes sense with the setup of the story, and I liked the kind of grumpy sunshine dynamic that we had going on as well between Eddie and Mark. And like Mark kind of gave me like black cat energy, and like Eddie gives like golden retriever energy. And I don't know. Yeah, and Eddie is just like a really sweet guy, and he's a bit younger than Mark. Um, and like I loved scenes like when Eddie had Mark meet his mom, and like, you know, when Eddie was talking to his mom about being queer, and like, and then also Mark's relationship with that reporter George, the old man, um, who ends up being his roommate towards the end of the book. I thought that that was really sweet and wholesome as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I feel like I went on for a long time just now, but
No, but it's good because this, like, it's helpful since, like, we both read this book, like, for like a long time ago. So it's like, it's good to like fill each other in on like what exactly happened in the book. And just to remind us about like key topics that we have to discuss. But yeah, like I like the book in the sense where I felt like there was a lot of tender moments in the book
yeah,
where it's just quiet. Like it's not
yes,
like the best way to describe it, it's like quiet scenes where they're not really doing much. They're just having like honest conversations, or they're just like talking on the phone, like with a payphone. I found those to be so tender and so sweet. I loved how patient they were with each other
yeah,
because they knew that they were like dealing with like a very bigger issue than both of them that they had to like, you know, treat very carefully. It's a very sensitive topic for both of them because
yeah,
like they don't know how to manage it. They don't want to get it out in public and possibly ruin his career.
yeah,
And then but they also like know that like they can't stop their attraction for each other, and then they also can't stop falling in love with each other. So like I found it to be like really sweet in that. So like it was just really wholesome a lot of the times when I was reading the book. And then like I guess like another point that I wanted to add was that like even though they do have a community of people who are very supportive of them and things like that, it's just like hard because there's still going to be that level of, I would say, of tabooness, and people might not be as accepting. So it was always that underlying fear that I had when I was reading this book, where I was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was like waiting for like something bad to happen to the couple, especially set in the historical times. But like obviously, like nowadays, it's like more accepting, it's more open, it's more loving, it's a bigger community. But it's just like queer historical romances are tough in that
yeah,
sense that they have to work within that framework and that mindset of people not being as open as they are now.
yeah, yeah. It really, at the end of the day, it really does add a level of like tragedy to the story.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
even though they get a version of a happily ever after, it's not like a full happily ever after. It's not. It can't be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and um I agree with you. There's a lot of scenes that kind of stand out in my mind because they're like quieter, tender, sweeter moments between Mark and Eddie. Yeah, I loved the scenes where they were like talking for hours on the payphone.
Mm-hmm. It's so romantic. Like
Very,
he paid, had coins. Like, wasn't he like at one point, like, oh, you know, like he was just like in the middle of the night, he just wanted to call him, and he like just like threw some coins into the payphone, and then like Mark was just like, "What's going on? Like, why are you calling me so late?" and stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh, it was so cute. It was so
Oh, I loved the part of the story where remember when Eddie borrowed Mark's copy of The Haunting of Hill House?
cute. Mm-hmm.
And so Eddie is reading The Haunting of Hill House, and it has all of Mark's like annotations in it
Yeah.
because part of Mark's job is that he would like review books and things like that. Like he kind of did it all with the newspaper. He like did kind of exposés on people. He
Mm-hmm.
reviewed books. The premise of this story really is that he's doing like a diary from Eddie's point of view. So he has to interview Eddie a lot to you know, write those articles. Hi, Linda. And so he's reading this copy of Haunting of Hill House, and like I've never read that book. I've only seen like the Netflix adaptation. So
I think I read it. Let me double check.
from what I understand, like it's a very different. The adaptation is very different from the book.
Okay.
So but what we like see Mark and Eddie talk about is that like there's these two female characters in that book that are living together, and like Mark is making annotations throughout the copy that like he is sensing like a romantic vibe between these two characters, but because it's a horror novel, they're not going to have a happy ending. It's certainly not a romance novel. Like it's certainly not, you know.
Yeah.
And so I loved that scene, like that part of the story where they were talking about that book, and like I think that was also kind of around the time where like Eddie realized that Mark was queer, kind of through his annotations and things like that. So yeah, it's like quiet moments like that, like we said, like intimate, tender, sweet scenes between these two characters, and I thought it was just so lovely.
Yeah. I like that. That was like one of the parts that kind of surprised me about like this book, because I kind of walked in just thinking it was going to be like a fun romantic comedy involving like baseball players and reporters and then calling it a day. But then it was slow, but in a good way.
Yeah.
She took her time to kind of build that chemistry between two characters. She
Yeah,
took that
I
time
agree.
to explore the characters and their complexities, things that they were being held back on, like they were holding each other back on. And yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Like for me, I just kept looking forward to the next chapter of like what Mark and Eddie and their friends were going to do. I also love that Mark is really close friends with Maureen and Lillian, who are a lesbian couple. And I loved seeing them featured a little bit throughout the story as well. It's like that found family aspect. I think Cat Sebastian always does a really good job with that. Like there is one scene where they kind of all go out to a restaurant together, and it's just really sweet to see. But yeah, like I think it was also like the right time for me to read something like this. It's for me, it's like almost equal parts like heartwarming and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
For sure. And I also think that this book is just very unique in the romance genre right now. Like, I don't know any other authors who are writing books like this. This is not the trend. It's not the what's hot right now, like on TikTok, right? It's not. It's not.
I have to think about this. Yeah, I have to think about this.
Yeah, like it's just like we've said. It's a quieter book. It's a slower paced book. It's more character driven. Something that also stuck out to me, which is this might be kind of silly, but because of like, I don't know, the like how TikTok has like taken over the romance industry, like the romance genre in the last few years. And I feel like so many people are just like obsessed with spice and like explicit sex scenes in books. And like, I love that too every now and then. Like it, you know, depending on my mood, I'll read something like that. Or like, I personally love that this book, like, didn't even discuss like their physical attraction to each other until like, I don't know, past the halfway mark. Like, you know, it didn't even get into any of that. And like, that's what makes a book more romantic to me. When you just have two characters falling for each other emotionally, and like, it's just beautiful to read about. You know,
yeah,
that's different from what I think is trending right now.
Yeah, but we knew Eddie was like attracted and curious about Mark though, like because Mark would like come into the change rooms, and he would always just like his eyes would just kind of always gravitate towards him, and so I thought that was cute. Like, so yeah,
it was cute in the way that it was kind of like they would like blush about each other, like
yeah. Like they wanted to get to know each other.
Sweet and wholesome, like
They
very.
weren't sure. They were just trying to like test the waters to see what was going on, how like both of them were, you know, if they liked each other or not.
Right.
So yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So I'm glad we picked this one because I probably wouldn't have picked it up anytime soon.
You recommended this one, or did someone recommend this one to us?
Well, I feel like I think someone might have recommended it to us. I think so. I think somebody might have left it in a comment, maybe. And then when I looked it up, it was just like seemed like such a unique book. Like we have an baseball romance set in 1960, like
Yeah.
And I saw like a lot of 5-star reviews for it too. So yeah, I think that's why we ultimately picked it. But I'm glad that we did, because I haven't read from Cat Sebastian in a while. I actually still do have a couple of her like Regency era books on my TBR. I haven't finished all of those yet, but those are really great too. She has some really great Regency romances.
Who?
Yeah.
Are we still talking about Cat Sebastian?
I mean, I was just looking at my Goodreads, so I was, but
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this book. It really worked for me. I thought it was really sweet, wholesome, like we said, heartwarming, kind of heartbreaking. Also, I loved the dog, Lula.
The dog was so cute.
Oh my god, that was so cute.
Yeah. It's such a fun character to kind of add into the story, especially like like they were dealing with bigger stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some really great side characters in this book.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what have you been reading lately?
Oh God, I am slowly, but I am very slow right now. Like in June and July, I've been like on a kind of like a reading slump. I think June I only read like 12 books. So
I think same. Yeah, I read 13. I did not read.
You were very busy in June, right?
Yeah, I was. I was working on a show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense to be like we like read very slowly during a very busy month. Sorry, I'm just like looking at. So basically, long story short, guys, I got hacked in my PayPal account, and then someone charged my credit card $1,300.
Oh shit.
And then I had to like cancel my credit card, obviously, and had to like fight PayPal. And I got my money back. That's great. But the thing is that all the purchases that I've made on the old credit card number is not going to be processed anymore. Like my pre-orders for my books are not going to be processed anymore.
Oh god.
I know. So then I'm just like getting emails now from like my pre-order saying like, oh, your credit card like
was declined and you have to like go put in the new information.
Yeah. And then the thing is that like the way that so like we have this bookstore chain known as Indigo, like Chapters Indigo, and it's like Barnes and Nobles of Canada,
right?
And their business is kind of like a little bit suspicious in the sense where they will send you the book and then they go, oh, sorry, we couldn't charge your credit card, can you call us? And then so we can like they give you the service, like
that's crazy.
They give you the good, and then you have to call them back and say, hey, like it didn't go through. It's like on what's it called when it's like you base it off of faith, like they like they have good faith in you that the customers will call them back and like charge it to the credit card, to a new credit card.
That's so stupid, because then it basically becomes like a collections agency.
And then so many people are not going to do it, and then they just lose money because like they forget to do it or they don't want to do it, and they just get a free product.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so like I'm a good person. Obviously, I'm not gonna fucking steal. So then like one time this happened to me one time where I canceled the credit card, and then like I bought like 30 books in one order, but it was like pre-orders for like a whole year.
Yeah.
So then they would ship throughout the whole year because not all books are released on the same date. So then I would get like 30 emails throughout the whole year, and I would just have to spend time just calling. I'd just be like, call, like, can you charge my credit?
That is so annoying.
It got to the point where I created a folder so that I could forward the emails I could put the emails into that folder so I have it all in one space so that I could just do it all in one shot. Because I'm just like, I am so tired of calling. Anyway, so then I just got an email today telling me that I couldn't charge it to my credit card. And I'm like, fuck. Because like this one has like 33 items and they need to charge like $500 to my credit card throughout the whole year.
Yeah, that's so annoying.
This is gonna piss me off. And then I told them, like, there was one time where I was like, can you charge it to a new credit card? Like, do it one shot. Like, just change the credit card on file and change it to the new one. They said, no, we can't do that.
Ridiculous. What?
This is the worst. It's the worst inventory system ever. First, they give you free products. Yeah. They expect you to be a good person to pay them back. And then when you want to make a good effort to make a change and to help them, they can't do it in their system.
That's insane.
And like maybe like 2 years ago now, their whole thing got hacked. Like their whole website got hacked, where they lost control of their website by like some like foreign, like nefarious like people in like Europe who just wanted to hack Chapters. They shut, and then Chapters regained access to the platform, but then they had to like do a whole lockdown to make sure that like everything was secure. There was a part where employee information was accessed. So people knew like employee birth dates, phone numbers, addresses, emails, phone numbers, and things like that, I think. And like it was really tough. And then they shut it down, their online business, for 2 weeks, I think. And then they also, in stores, you couldn't pay by credit card or debit. You had to pay with cash.
Oh my God.
Because they couldn't log into their systems and they didn't trust the systems anymore. So then it became like this whole thing. And it was like just crazy. It was bonkers.
That is insane.
It was bonkers. Okay.
Wow.
Linda says this happened to her husband's credit card and it took a couple months to get everything straightened out. Yeah. I really hope it's not a couple months.
When it happens, because it's like, you know, you forget all the things that like your credit card is connected to. So, you know, when you have to get a new credit card, it's like the fallout can take months, because it's like it can take months to figure out just how many things you have to like update your payment method on. It's ridiculous.
I know. Why did I keep charging it to this credit card? I don't know what I was doing. Like, this is not even my favorite credit card. Okay, the other one, I charged it to a different credit card. But this credit, I don't know why I did this. I regret it. Anyway, so that's going to be the rest of my year. And then I have to call my credit card company to be like, hey, yo, guys, like the refund is going to hit on this credit card. Are you going to transfer it to the new number, or like what's going on? Because like I think this the refund that PayPal's giving me back is like sitting in limbo right now.
Oh, that's so annoying.
I know. So anyways, for people who are just joining, don't fucking save your credit card or your debit card into PayPal, because I don't trust it.
Damn.
I don't trust that shit. They hacked me so fast. It's a 2-factor verification system, and they hacked me.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It was crazy. It was bonkers. Anyways, that was my headache. That's still my ongoing headache. So I was a bit distracted just now because I was looking at these emails. But yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That's, yep.
Spooky. But what I'm reading right now is, going back to books, is this book called Better Left Unsent by Leah Lewis.
Never heard of it.
It gives me very Confessions of a Shopaholic vibes.
Okay.
Kinsella vibes.
Yes.
But not really confessions. So basically her emails that she writes about people that are really bad emails, like she just like saves it as drafts, like her inner thoughts. It's like a diary entry, but she writes it in her emails. And then somebody sent it all out to everybody. And then now she's like, her relationships with people have been like ruined and she's trying to like fix it. And then there's this like guy in her office that's like super willing to help her, and he's like the best, and you know, obviously he's really sweet. But right now I have 30 minutes left in the audiobook. It's taking me forever to read it because it's getting slow. So yeah. Unfortunately, it was really good in the beginning though. I really, really liked it, but then it's dragging on way too long right now. So yeah.
Yeah, that plot definitely reminds me of a Sophie Kinsella book.
There's a book called I Hope This Finds You Well by Natalie Sue. And that one is my favorite book of last year. And it's the same premise where all her emails kind of get exposed. So what she would do is that she'll write an email to someone and then she'll write her real thoughts in white ink. so nobody can see it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She writes at the bottom underneath her signature, and then somebody like finally saw it, like because like I think she forgot to white it out or something, and then everybody saw it, so then everybody was like looking through her emails and then saw like all these like really like mean messages, and then she got called into HR, and she was like, they were like, we won't fire you, but you have to do HR training because this is unacceptable.
Right.
And then she starts like rebuilding her life. And it was like a really touching novel because she's an alcoholic, kind of. Yeah, she uses alcohol to cope with like the loss of her relationships in life, from depression and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was good. What are you reading?
I'm currently rereading Marrying Winterbourne.
Nice.
Because we have our live show tomorrow for the Ravenels read
Amazing.
along. Yeah, that we're doing. We basically worked our way through like all of those like connected series. So like Wallflowers, Hathaways, and now we're into the Ravenels. So that's been really fun. I forgot how much I love this one. This is a really like one of my top favorite Lisa Kleypas books.
Are you doing audiobook or are you reading it?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that is the way to go. Like I think that's the way to go because it's just like her writing is just so good. It flows so well.
Yeah, it really does. And Mary Jane Wells is the narrator for this one.
Oh, I love her.
And she just always does a fantastic job with historical romances. So yeah, this is definitely a top favorite in the Ravenel series for me.
I haven't read. Sorry, excuse me. I haven't read Anne Gracie. Let me know how that goes.
Me neither. We keep meaning to, I feel like, and then we never do.
Good. What's a good recommendation, guys, for our next book club pick?
Ooh, yeah.
If anybody read a recent historical romance that they really like, that'd be awesome. I have the new Harper St. George novel.
Oh, I like her. I like her books.
Yeah, I have that one. It's like Eliza and the Duke or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I know Kate Bateman is coming out with something soon. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up like my Goodreads. Let's see what's new. I'm still in the middle of this, what is it called? The Sins for All Seasons series by Lorraine Heath. Loving that. I love that series.
She's really good.
Oh man, she brings the angst, man. She really does.
I have this book, like from Anna Bradley. It's called What Happens in the Highlands. I love Anna Bradley.
Pretty. That's a pretty cover. Let's see. I need to read the new. It's not new anymore because it's definitely been out for a few months. But Julianne Long's, the latest book in her series. It's called The Beast Takes a Bride. That's her Palace Road series. I need to get caught up on that. That's a really cute series. I like that series a lot. I haven't been reading too many historicals though. Well, and like we always talk about, like they're just not being published as much anymore. So, in terms of like new historical romances, I do want to read. I need to get caught up on Alexandra Vasty's.
Oh yeah,
books.
She's great. Mm-hmm. I'm looking through my list of want to reads to see like what am I missing. I guess we'll have to table it. We'll have to figure out like a book later. Yeah. We'll have to think about it. If anybody joining right now has any recommendations for historical romance, we would love to hear it. There's like Virginia Heath. This book is like her first book that came out last year. It's called
Oh yeah,
Fair in Love and War.
that's a cute cover.
I've read her before and I really liked her books.
Yeah, I've never read anything from her.
Or there's like Victoria Alexander. That's gonna be harder for like us to get an audiobook for. I love Victoria Alexander. I was just looking at her books recently on my shelf, and I was been telling myself that I need to read some.
I've never read anything from her either.
Oh, she's so good. She's so
Yeah.
good. I read her this one series, this quartet from her that's like based off of like Disney fairy tales or just like fairy tales in general. And I thought it was like super cute. Like there's this one that was like Rapunzel, where she just like kind of like looks over out her tower and then she's just like, who's that idiot trespassing on my family's property? And it's this guy who like is our hero who was having like a fling with a married woman in the house next door. And then the husband came back. So then he had to run away before he got shot. So then he like leapt over her fence and then just started running across the lawn. And he was about to get caught. And then she like notices him. He notices her. And he's like, please help me. Please save me. And then he like climbs up his window, like up to her window.
Oh, wow.
And joins her. And it was like super cute. I liked it.
That does sound cute.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just like look for the book later.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll find a good one. We'll like discuss whether or not we want like a newer release or a older release.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Well, that is it for now, I think. Oh, Lorraine Heath and Elizabeth Rose.
Convenient Marchioness. Ooh. Yeah, I've never heard of that author.
Never heard of that author too.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely have to. I feel like we'll both have to do some digging because I also like with this book club, I like to try to find like, either like new authors to read from or just like books that are kind of like off the beaten path.
Yeah.
That like Lisa and I can kind of bring attention to and, kind of promote. Like this book that we read this month, like I don't think very many people have read this book and I thought it was great. So, but cool. Well, I guess that's pretty much it for this discussion.
Yeah, it was nice talking to everybody. It was nice talking to you, Rachel. Always love catching up, and we'll see you guys next time. I think we're gonna meet in August. We'll have to discuss that too as well.
Yeah.
Lots of things are TBD, the book and the next time we meet up. But it was great chatting with everybody.
Yep. And as usual, like we'll create a graphic and promote the next book and, when the next live show is and all that stuff.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. We post it in our Instagram stories.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend.